It's raining, I'm in Warrington, I'm at Into Moto, and I've got another bike for you, so let's just see what I'm on today. Here it is. It's a bit of a bargain week today, I've got to say. This is the Lexmoto Michigan, it's the 125, and these are incredible value. Now, yes, they are cheap, so I'm not expecting a lot from it, but we'll have a look around the usual way. I like the styling of it, so it's off to a good start, but this bike is currently up for sale with these guys for £1,599, which for a bike of this year I think is really good. These retail, I think they're about 2,400 brand new. This is 18-month, 2-year-old bike, there or thereabouts. Let's have a look round. I'll drop in a couple of things on the way.
Is it raining again?
It's always bloody raining. Like a surprise cuddle from the boss there at Into Moto. Yeah, so let's have a look round it the usual way, and we can see what it's all about. But value is certainly top of its list, I think, so let's go. Cool looking bike. I love, first off, I mean, there's your close-up, right, but you can see a couple of styling points straight away. It's very retro looking with the big mudguard at the back and the front as well, but you've got these high-rised bars as well. Love the look of that, proper cruiser style. We have got a chain drive, looks like an old Gatling gun out the back, that exhaust with all those holes going around. Like it though, little styling touch. The dual shocks on both sides, some nice chrome finishes. What I will say, this bike is quite, well, it's not quite cheap, it's very cheap. So when it comes to this and how good this is going to be in a year or two, I can't tell you because I don't know. But this bike is, I believe it's on a 2022 plate, so it potentially is 2 years old and it still looks like brand new. You can see a few age-related marks, just a bit of weathering. Yeah, that'll probably just scrub off, to be fair. And you can see a little bit, again, just a bit of weathering. It's a couple of years old, this bike, so you're going to get an odd mark. But the chrome bits, they actually look really nice. It's even got little foot plates. I like that. Do they fold up as well? Nice little touch, that. It's trying to be a little Harley. It's trying. We love a trier. Big chunky brake pedal as well. Fuel tank on this is a 17.5 litre fuel tank, and if you believe the stats, which I don't think it'd be far off, if not bang on, but apparently it will do 173 miles per gallon. That is immense. 173 miles per gallon. I've recently been on my Nikon for a long tour. Yes, bigger engine, but I was lucky to get 50 out of that, so over 3 times more fuel efficient. You get that with the smaller bikes. Feels like memory foam. Very, very spongy. We'll see if that's a good thing or bad thing when I park my backside on it. And there's your view. In fact, there would be a view. Let me sort that mirror out. Looked a bit wonky with that mirror like that. Yeah, it's proper old school looking bike. The one dial at the front. Quite a modern feel to it. That's very Harley Davidson as well, isn't it? Like the Sportster with the one dial and then your warning lights and everything down here. Looking at this though, with the numbers, that looks like a gear indicator, because we've got neutral, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we'll see if they light up when we're having a ride. Someone's put a nice little addition clock there that looks like it's ran out of batteries. That's a shame. Buttons, just very basic, but that's what you're going to get from a budget or very cheap 125. Horn indicators, high and low beam. Right side, you've just got your engine start, your hazards and your engine cut off. Little walk round. It does have a centre stand and a side stand. Currently on its centre stand, but you can see how easy it is to take off because it is a light bike. This 143 kilograms. It's a light one, so it's good for anybody looking for downsizing as well. There you have it, little push. Seat height on this 735 millimeters, so it is a low seat height, perfect for somebody with short legs. You can see mine, I'm only small, I'm 5'8". I've got a bend in the knee, flat foot both sides, not a problem. Slightly forward, but you're not stretched out, proper cruiser style. You just sat quite nicely. I like the addition of the foot plate, and your back's up straight. Comfortable riding position. Power wise, it's not amazing. It has got a claimed top speed of 63 miles an hour and it's got 10.5 horsepower. I'll take this to a national speed limit road shortly when I take it for a test ride, and we'll see if it can get to that 60 mile an hour or if it can get close to it anyway. So join me for that. Let's go for a ride. First off, that's really quiet. Nice little rev. There isn't a rev meter. There is a fuel gauge. On the outside, we have got kilometers. On the inside, we've got miles per hour. How very civilized. Really easy to move around, whether you're pushing it or just taking a slow maneuvering. If you are looking for a bike that's not going to upset your neighbours in the morning, not a bad option. It's very quiet. I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, yes, they are very cheap, these bikes. They're cheap brand new at a little over 2,399, I think. Yes, you'll have the on-the-road costs on top of that, so add another couple of £100, but still, you're talking around the £2,500 mark. The ride comfort, it's really pleasant. The seat, as I mentioned on the walk round, is very spongy, but when you sat on it, it doesn't feel really soft. It just feels nicely cushioned. Address the elephant in the room that people will say, oh, it's Chinese. Yes, it is Chinese, and we could have this argument every single week, every time I ride a Chinese motorcycle. Yes, there are some really, really, really bad ones out there, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that there aren't, because there are. And there are some people that have bought those really, really bad ones and they tell everybody about it, and so they should. If you have a bad experience with a bike, share it. Let the world know so they don't get caught with the same thing. I'm all for that. For me, if I come across an awful motorcycle, I will tell you guys about it so you don't make the mistake of buying one. Or I can advise you against it anyway. Whether you buy it is completely down to you. I'm impressed with how it's going through the gears. Very light on the foot. The seating position's nice, and I like the look of it. According to the spec sheet, it'll do 63 miles per hour. I would bet when they've tested out 63 miles per hour, they didn't have a heavy strapping lad on like myself. Will it do it with me on it? Well, we're going to find out shortly when we get onto the nationals. I wouldn't count on it though. For this stretch here, it's fairly straight, and the speedo is showing 55. Now I am full throttle, but it's showing 55 miles an hour. It appears to have maxed out at 55. I am heavy, I know that, and the smaller capacity bikes, the 50cc's, 125s, they really are affected by the weight. So if you are lighter than me, I'm sure you will be fine getting 60 mile an hour on this. I need to try it on the downhill stretch now. There's 60. So on the speed test, this bike has just managed a 60 mile an hour run. Now it was involving a little bit of downhill, so a sports bike it isn't. There are 125s out there that are considerably faster than this bike. They're considerably faster, but they're twice the price. Going around into moto, you've got GSXS 125s, you've got Z 125s, the CB 125s, you know, you've got Honda, Yamahas, Kawasaki's. You've got quite the mix in there, but they're all more expensive than this. The majority are double the price or close to it, and that's what you get when you get something like that. You're getting a bike with more mileage, but it's a Honda or a Kawasaki or whatever Japanese bike, so you're paying twice the price. Now there's always the argument, yes, but reliability. Well, what I can tell you is I work with somebody who has a Lexmoto that he uses to and from work, and he uses it every day for work, and he has done for as long as I've worked with him. And I think maybe 2 years or so he's had that bike, and he's just always on it. He does some serious miles, and I'm not talking just in the sun, we're talking January to December, we're talking in light snow and everything. He does some serious miles, and I've never known him have an issue with that bike. It's not a fast bike, but if you're only doing 30 mile an hour roads, what do you need a bike for that will do 60 mile an hour or more? You don't, do you? You don't need it. When you look at it that way, this bike just makes sense. I like it, lots of reasons, but the main one being cost. Now, if I wanted a fast 125, no, I wouldn't pick this. No, I wouldn't. If I wanted a sports bike 125, no, absolutely not. But if you're looking for a cheap and cheerful way of getting about, I think that's going to do me. It's typical English weather today, but it's another enjoyable bike to have a ride on. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it looks alright. Don't forget the value. It is without doubt a used bike bargain. £1,500 thereabouts. That's a steal, surely for a 125 steal. Anyway, that's going to do me. I'm going to take it back. I can see blue sky over there, not above me though. I'm going to take it back to Into Moto. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. If you like the video, why not come back for more? Hit that subscribe button. If you've got any comments on this bike, if you think it's rubbish, tell me. If you think it's brilliant, tell me. If you just don't care but you just want to chat about the weather, then I'm okay with that as well. I will catch you all on the next one. For now, this is me going to get a warm and a hot drink. Laters.